Are solid state batteries finally real? Well, apparently there's a company at CES this year that is claiming they are finally real. They are no longer theory, they are no longer prototypes, but they are real. So let's kind of talk about why they're saying it's real and what they're claiming their real solid state batteries are offering. So for starters, this company is called, I believe it's called Doughut Labs. Doughut Labs, and they're called Doughut Labs. And this is the crazy thing. Like, they're called Doughut Labs because they specialize in making donut motors. So think an electric motor, but instead of being one dense little cylinder, it's actually more of like a donut shaped motor with a big hole in the middle. And their big showstopper at CES that kind of draws you into their booth is this new motorcycle that I believe they just announced at CES. It's this new motorcycle that uses the donut motors. So if you look at the rear wheel, for instance, it's like something right out of a Star Trek movie where there is no center to the wheel. There's no hub, or a hub as we know it, no spokes or anything like that. The motor just kind of exists around the outside rim. And that's pretty cool in its own. And they're talking about applications of that with like 18 wheelers and stuff like that. I don't really understand exactly why they'd be applying it to 18 wheelers specifically, but it sounds like they've already been using a lot of that technology with fleets, selling it for fleets and things. So it hasn't been available directly to consumers. And it honestly hasn't been put in products before that were such a showy, flashy use of the technology, right? You put it on an 18-wheeler, it's on the axle somewhere where you can't really see it, versus making a motorcycle where it's really visible and obvious and weird looking. But yeah, so Doughut Labs makes donut motors, and now they're making a motorcycle with that in it. And this motorcycle also offers solid state batteries, which, or it's built on solid state batteries, not offers it, but that's what it uses, right? Now, these, again, the story was a little bit weird. I couldn't completely follow it. It sounded like they were already making products with solid state batteries and shipping them to companies, but not directly to consumers. So it sounded like they were already using them, but this motorcycle, again, is sort of their first, like, to consumer available product with a solid state battery in it. And my understanding is they haven't shipped them yet. They just announced them at CES, like, I don't know, a couple days ago. And so I need to go on the website and check it out. You go on there and check it out. But I believe you can go on there. I guess you can go on their website and order those motorcycles. They're saying they're available, something like that. That's their claim, is they're making a big deal about solid state batteries are now real because they are offered in consumer products that they are selling, that they just announced. Some of that doesn't really add up to me, but close enough. You know, it's kind of sort through the hype to get to the reality. And the other thing is they won't talk about the technology in their solid state batteries, but they are talking about the benefits to their solid state batteries, which is really exciting, but also taking it all with a grain of salt, right? All the stuff they're telling us sounds so amazing. It sounds impossible. It can't possibly be real. And again, remember, we're not hearing this from consumers using this and trying this yet, right? This is coming from the people that work at the company that are trying to pitch it to us, right? So there's definitely a lot of question about, how real are these claims and how much of it is just marketing hype, right? So they're claiming these solid state batteries have twice the energy density per pound. They're saying kilogram. I'm saying pound. I'm in Colorado in the US here. Let's talk about pounds. But they're saying it's twice the energy density per unit of weight. So they're saying that, and they are saying, if you put their solid state batteries in a vehicle and replace the exact same battery that you would have had in the vehicle before, like a one-to-one replacement, you're going to have twice the range. Twice the range. So if you've got an electric car with a range of 300 miles and you replace it with one of these batteries, an equivalent version, you're going to have 600 miles of driving range. That's what they're claiming. I don't know. We'll see. What else are they saying? They're saying that, I think I said 100,000 cycles for the life of the battery. So they're saying, like, for instance, their motorcycle they're selling, they're saying that that battery is going to way outlast the motorcycle. Um, there was some talk, I can't remember if the company was saying it or some YouTuber was saying it, but somebody was talking about how you may be, instead of trying to get grandpa's Corvette or something that, after he passes away, you're going to be trying to get his batteries, because these batteries last for so long. They're so amazing. What else were they claiming? Oh, fast charge times. Charge times were pretty insane, I guess. I don't know. They were using, they were talking about their motorcycle and saying something like it would charge to 100% in 10 minutes or something like that from zero. I don't know. Is that great? I'm not familiar with motorcycles and electric motorcycles. I mean, if it were an electric car, I know that'd be amazing, but a motorcycle has a lot smaller batteries, so I don't know if that's really amazing or not. But they're talking about it like it is. And frankly, it sounds like the charging problem is going to be more of the infrastructure, right? Like, these will charge so quickly that there won't be any infrastructure to be able to harness that charging speed. And I think they were even talking about making some charging trucks that would drive around to try to overcome that infrastructure issue. I don't know. It was some crazy stuff. What else? The shape of the battery. So they're saying you can make the shape of the battery any shape you want. And it sounded like they could say you could make the battery part of the structure of the product, whatever it is. And they were demonstrating the idea of doing that with a drone, a flying drone, right? That, you could make it whatever the shape of the drone is. And while they didn't say this part, the impression I was getting was that it's being 3D printed. There's a lot of stuff about the technology that they're not talking about. They won't share. They're saying that as soon as it starts getting in the hands of consumers, people are going to start taking it apart and figuring it out. But until then, they're keeping it under wraps. And they're not really talking about how it's produced or what's in it, except for they're saying that it is not lithium. There is no lithium in the battery. They were very clear about that. No lithium being used. But it sounds like these batteries are being 3D printed, which is giving you the opportunity to make it in whatever shape you want. Again, they didn't say it was 3D printed, but it kind of sounds like that. I don't know how you would 3D print a battery. That sounds a little crazy to me, but I don't know. I'm not a battery scientist. Okay, you can make them any shape you want. Really dense in energy. The other big one, right? Okay, so all these promises, and they were talking about, like, these promises don't mean anything if the battery costs 3 times what a normal battery costs. And so they were happy to report that's not the case. They're claiming that these batteries are made out of materials that are very readily available, very easy to get, and will actually be, these solid state batteries will be cheaper than typical lithium batteries. That's what they're claiming. They're going to be cheaper. What else? Temperature sensitivity. It sounded like they were talking about temperature sensitivity is going to be a thing of the past, right? If we've got electric vehicles that nowadays, right, if you have an electric vehicle and you go out on a really cold winter day, you're not going to have the same range you do on a nice 70-degree day, right? But they're saying that's going to be a thing of the past, that these batteries have no problem operating at extremely low temperatures and extremely high temperatures. And your battery range in the middle of winter in a really, really like Arctic cold kind of place is going to be the same as it is on a very moderate temperature day. So, again, man, like, I mean, all the things that I just talked about, there's so many things that just feels like it's just too good to be true. Like, there's no way they've managed to nail all these things this well. I hope they do, but there's definitely the skeptic in me that says, well, this is amazing marketing. But I feel like I've been hyped up over amazing marketing several times before. As somebody who is a fan of Tesla and follows Tesla, I'm very used to being disappointed when the real product hits the streets. So we'll see. But these guys, this is not a prototype they're talking about. They are talking about a product that they are claiming they're going to be shipping very soon. Like, it is ready to go. This is not a prototype. It is ready for sale. They're going to be shipping it soon. This is not a Cybertruck that is going to be, a Cybertruck prototype that will see the real thing in a few years. So, I don't know. We'll see how it all goes. I want to see what you guys think in the comments. Tell me, does this feel like just a bunch of stupid hype to you? Does this feel like it's finally real? Does it feel too good to be true? Do you trust this? How many of you guys are familiar with Doughut Labs? Has anybody been following Doughut Labs and kind of knows more of their story than I do? I'd love to hear in the comments. You know, this whole channel is all about just chatting about nerdy stuff and having a good time. So I'd love to hear what you all have to say and chat with you about it in the comments. But yeah, so that solid state batteries, they might be real. That might be a thing. I'm still holding reservations until I start hearing from people that don't work at Doughut Labs and have used the products. I'm waiting to hear from them. I cannot wait to hear. But man, if this is gonna be inexpensive, double your range, not sensitive to temperature. Oh my gosh, if my smartwatch had a solid state battery in it so it would stop freezing every time I went for a cold jog. Yeah, you see how it's under my glove right there? Because if I didn't do that today, my watch would freeze and die in the middle of my run. I would love to have a battery in there where I didn't have to hide my watch. I could actually see it when I'm using it. That'd be amazing. What would you guys be looking forward to seeing solid state batteries in? I mean, obviously electric vehicles would be really cool. I'd be excited to see electric vehicles get double the range, or maybe we stick to like 300, 350 miles of range, but we cut the weight in half of the battery, right? Like how amazing would that be? I feel like that would change a lot of things in the electric vehicle department that would be hard to even just start talking about here. Yeah, what would you guys be excited to see this in? Boats, helicopters, the drones, like, I don't know, this should make a lot of changes in a lot of places. Anyway, if you've enjoyed this video, check this one out right here, where we have a nerdy chat about the latest Steam announcements about their new products, the Steam Machine, and new Steam controllers, and new VR headset. So check that out right here. I'll see you there.